Let us have a 1 minute prayer. Thank you, children. Please vibrate the words. I will clear NEET with a good score above 600. Please vibrate the words. I will clear NEET with a good score above 600. $650, sorry, 650. For you, the target is 650. 3 more times, 650, okay? 3 more times, please. Thank you, children. Let us start discussing the multiple choice. Question number 1. In the chlorination of methane using Cl2 in the presence of sunlight, which of the following statement is wrong? Now, question number 1. In the chlorination of methane using Cl2 in the presence of sunlight, H nu, which of the statement is wrong? They have given which of the statement is wrong. The first statement, statement 1. In question number 1, statement 1 proceeds by SN1 or E1 mechanism. Children, it does not proceed by SN1 mechanism, it is false. Statement 2, it proceeds by free radical mechanism, that is true. It proceeds by free radical mechanism. Subsequent replacement of hydrogen by chlorine leads to decrease in flammable nature of the product obtained. Children, in statement 3, they are discussing about your flammable nature. Methane can easily get oxidized to form carbon dioxide in water, Whereas when I replace CH bond by CCl bond, the oxidation gets resisted. The oxidation is not highly easily flammable. When I replace H by Cl, the CCl bond is not easily flammable when compared to what CH bond. Therefore, when I replace subsequent all the hydrogen by your corresponding chlorine, I have got 4 hydrogen. When all the hydrogen is replaced by chlorine, then if 1 hydrogen is replaced, flammability will increase to a certain extent. If 2 hydrogen are replaced by 2 chlorine, flammability which will be increasing much more. And therefore, your flammable decrease will decrease. The flammable property will decrease. It cannot get easily oxidized. It is not highly flammable when your hydrogen gets replaced by chlorine. Okay, that's about the idea. Therefore, in option, your statement 3, subsequent replacement of hydrogen by chlorine leads to decrease in flammability. That is true. That is true. And statement 4 leads to increase in flammable nature of the product obtained. Subsequent replacement of hydrogen by chlorine leads to increase in flammable nature of the product obtained. That is false. That is false. And your 5, your forms methane as a minor product. It is true because we know that methyl radical gets formed and chlorine radical gets formed. Your methyl can combine with methyl radical to form ethane. Methyl radical can combine with methyl radical to form ethane. And then chlorine can combine with that chlorine radical can combine with form your Cl2. These two can combine to form methyl chloride. These two can combine to form chloride. Therefore, definitely your methane, minor product of methane will be obtained. Methane will be obtained as a minor product. That is again true. That is again true. Children, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your which of the statement they have asked, which of the statement is wrong? Your statement 1 is wrong and statement 4 is wrong. Statement 1 is wrong, statement 4 is wrong. And therefore, when I say statement 1 is wrong and statement 4 is wrong, your option C will be the correct option for the question number 1. Option C will be the correct option for the question number 1. That's about the idea of question number 1, children. Question number 2. When 1 mole of ethanol is treated with 4 moles of Cl2, when 1 mole of ethanol, is treated with 4 moles of Cl2, and then with excess NaOH, and your NaOH is present in excess. then the product obtained, the product or products obtained is R. What are the, if it is a single product, it is is. If it is a more than one product, we call as R. Therefore, what are the product? Children, your ethyl alcohol will first react with 1 mole of chlorine. Chlorine is an oxidizing agent. It will oxidize your corresponding primary alcohol to aldehyde. And therefore, here, your one hydrogen will combine with the chlorine to form minus 2 HCl. And therefore, it will form your CH3CHO. CH3CHO. Primary alcohol gets oxidized to what? Your aldehyde. Primary alcohol gets oxidized to aldehyde. Now, this, your acetaldehyde or your ethanol, when treated with 3 moles of chlorine, this 3 hydrogen will be replaced by chlorine. Therefore, minus 3 HCl, you will get CCl3 plus corresponding CCl3CHO. CCl3CHO we call as chloral, trichloroacetaldehyde chloral. This is your ethanol or acetaldehyde, and that is trichloroacetaldehyde or chloral. Okay. Now, this upon treatment with your sodium hydroxide with NaOH, we know the alpha reaction. The one of the product with NaOH, maybe I can say with NaOH. Therefore, one of the product is chloroform and the other product is what? Your corresponding sodium formate. CHCl3 plus sodium formate. Sodium salt of this particular acid. Sodium salt of that particular acid. Okay. Now, your chloroform and sodium formate, chloroform only, sodium formate only, formic acid, both chloroform and your sodium formate. So, children, formic acid is not the product. Formic acid is not the product. And we may think that both chloroform and sodium formate is the answer. But I have given the word excess. Children, chloroform with your NaOH. Chloroform with NaOH. Your halogen will be replaced by your hydroxide. All the 3 halogens will be replaced by hydroxide minus 3 NaCl. We will get CH, OH, OH. It is a triol, gem triol. Gem triols are unstable. Obviously, they will eliminate water. When eliminates water, it is going to form minus H2O. It is going to form your HOC single bond H double bond O, which is nothing but formic acid. But formic acid in your sodium hydroxide medium, in alkaline medium, your H plus and OH minus. Your OH minus and H plus will combine to form what? Corresponding HCOOH, and your OH minus H plus will get combined to form water. We will get the formation of HCOO minus Na plus. And again, you get the same product. You can see chloroform with NaOH forms your corresponding sodium formate. And with chloral again it forms sodium formate. Therefore, but further reaction will not take place. Further reaction upon only acidification. If I acidify this, only I'll get your formic acid. Then only I'll get formic acid. But this condition is not given. In the problem. Therefore, what is the product obtained? We may think that the product obtained is chloroform and your sodium formate. That is wrong. Please understand the word your excess NaOH. Please understand the word excess. That's very, very important. When they have given simply chlorine and NaOH, then iodoform reaction or chloroform reaction will stop up to this. But specifically, we have given excess NaOH. When I say excess NaOH, even this reactant will react with NaOH, and finally, again, sodium formate is obtained. Hence, the answer for the correct option, the correct answer is sodium formate only. And hence, the correct option for the question number 2. The correct option for the question number 2 is option B. Please make a note, children. Every question is very, very important. I am giving you the insight understanding of the keywords. That is very, very important. Okay. And what about the third one? Question number 3. Intermolecular dehydration of glycol and intramolecular dehydration of glycerol. Intermolecular dehydration of your glycol and intramolecular dehydration of glycerol yields dash and dash. Children, glycol is nothing but CH2OH, single bond CH2OH, single bond CH2OH. I have intermolecular dehydration. We have already discussed, children, your glycol, 2 moles of glycol 2 moles of glycol will react to undergo intermolecular dehydration, and here 2 products will be obtained. 2 products will be obtained. One in the presence of concentrated phosphoric acid, one in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. With only phosphoric acid, one side will attack, one side will only dehydrate. It will dehydrate only here. Therefore, I am going to form your OH, CH2, CH2, again HO, CH2, CH2OO, and this is your diethylene glycol. We have already discussed. And here both sides will be removed. Both sides will be removed. When both sides will be removed, it is O, CH2, CH2, again CH2, again CH2, OO. This is called dioxane. This is called dioxane or 1,4-dioxane. Again, we have discussed all these things, children. Now, what about the next one? Glycerol. Glycerol is CH2OH, single bond CHOH, single bond CH2OH. Glycerol is dehydrated intramolecular. They have given you see the word intermolecular dehydration of glycol and intramolecular dehydration of glycerol. Intramolecular. And therefore now there is a chance of there are 3 OH, and therefore there is a chance of you are removing 2 water molecule, removing 2 water molecule, 1 water molecule from here and 1 water molecule will be from here. Okay. Product called your acrolein. Intramolecular dehydration and then rearrangement will take place. Children, the intramolecular dehydration and rearrangement is to form your CH2 double bond, CH single bond, CHO, and this is your acrolein. This is your acrolein. Acrolein. Children, for all the reaction, don't try to remember the mechanism. If you try to remember for all the reaction, the mechanism, if you want to understand the mechanism, then it will be a very, very lengthy process. Of course, definitely for better understanding, many mechanisms to be known. But don't try to do for every reaction. If you try to understand the mechanism, it will be an exhaustive process and we need to learn a lot. Certain things you can try to remember. Certain things you can try to remember. This is nothing but prop, 2-ene, prop, 2-ene and 1-al. Prop, 2-ene, 1-al. That is called your acrolein. So therefore, your intramolecular dehydration of glycerol, forms acrolein. And hence the correct option for the question number your 3 will be your DEG or dioxane, and corresponding acrolein. And hence the correct option will be option D. Option D for question number 3. Option D will be the correct option. Option D will be the correct option. That's about the idea of question number 3. Okay, right. Question number 4. Which of the following is used to put off metal fire? Metal fire. Children, now there is a place wherein metals are stored. Metals are stored. Maybe it's a metal manufacturing industry. Metals are stored in a godown. Okay. And now there is a fire taking place. The fire taking place in that system. And now flames are coming out. Flames are coming out. Flames are coming out. How to put off this flame? Your A. They have given water. They have given water. Water is poured in a metal fire. When water is poured in a metal fire, definitely your metal will react with water to form corresponding metal oxide. To form metal oxide, maybe I don't know the valency of the metal. It can be M2OX. It can be M2OX. It will form metal oxide plus it will liberate hydrogen gas. It will liberate hydrogen gas. In certain thing, it can form metal hydroxide. In certain thing, it can form metal hydroxide depending on the what? Depending on the reactivity of the metal. Now, this process is exothermic. This process is exothermic. It will again involve liberation of energy. Therefore, you cannot use your, because metals will react. Whenever a chemical reaction takes place, definitely it cannot put off the fire. It cannot put off the fire. And therefore, your water cannot be used. What about the next one? The next one is carbon dioxide. The next one is your corresponding carbon dioxide. They have given option B as carbon dioxide. Option carbon dioxide. When metal gets oxidized, obviously your metal plus oxidation will give you metal oxide. Metal oxide plus carbon dioxide will again form metallic carbonate. Again forms product. It forms product, metallic carbonate. Children, now for certain metals it can be endothermic, for certain metals it can be exothermic. Let us not argue that. But in general, carbon dioxide is not healthy way of your using in terms of fire extinguishing for metal fires. Water is not healthy way. Water is not a good substance to be used, and carbon dioxide is also not a good substance, and therefore your A and B cannot be used. Now, what about option C? What option C is both A and B. Both A and B cannot be used. Option D, none of the above is correct. None of the above is correct because both cannot be used. Then you may ask me, then which of the following compound can be used to put off this fire? The children, now such compounds, such metallic fire can be put off by using the concept of the decrease in flammability by replacing your corresponding hydrogen by chlorine. The concept of replacing hydrogen by chlorine, okay? And therefore, the maximum number of hydrogen that can be replaced there is nothing but 4, therefore CCl4. You can use CCl4, you can use CCl4. You can also use the corresponding your C2 Cl6. The hexachloroethane, all your chlorine compounds wherein hydrogen is replaced by, in hydrocarbon, hydrogen is replaced by chlorine. These compounds, they are best fire extinguisher for your corresponding metal fires. This carbon tetrachloride we call as pyrene. Pyrene. Please make a note, children. That is very, very important. Okay. That's about the idea of question number 4. And now let us pass on to question number 5. Iodoform test is not given by. Alloform test can be given by. Alloform test can be given by your carbon compounds containing your CS3CO and carbon compound containing your CS3CHOH. That is called methyl ketone. The other one is methyl carbinol. Methyl ketone, methyl carbinol. Okay. Right. Now, what about the options? Option A is your 2-pentanone. Children, for want of space, I'll write the structure of 2-pentanone here. CS3, C double bond O, CH2, CS3. That is 2-pentanone. That is your 2-pentanone. Okay, 2-pentanone, it contains your methyl ketone. Therefore, A, it will answer. A will answer. They're asking which will not give. Okay. And then ethanol. We know the formula CS3CH2OH. I am going to just make you understand the presence of what CS3CHOH group, and therefore it contains methyl carbinol group. It will answer iodoform test. And then ethanol. It is CS3CHO, CS3C double bond OH. Again, it has got methyl ketone group, and therefore your C will also answer iodoform test. And what about the next one? 3-pentanone. 3-pentanone is nothing but the isomer of 2-pentanone. Your CS3CH2, C double bond O, CH2CS3. It does not contain your methyl ketone group. Methyl ketone group is not there here. Therefore, this will not answer iodoform test. And hence option D. Option D will not answer iodoform test. And hence the correct option for the question number 5. For the question number 5, the correct option will be option D. Question number 6. Children, in question number 6, which are the following reactions can form AgI? Which are the following reactions can form AgI? 1. In 1, we have got silver nitrate and potassium iodide. 1. Silver nitrate and potassium iodide. Okay. 2. Silver nitrate and iodoform. Silver nitrate and iodoform. Silver nitrate and iodoform. And then your 3. Silver and iodoform. 3. Silver and iodoform. And then your corresponding 4. Silver nitrate and chlorine. Children, please alter. It is CCl4. Please alter the option in question number 6. It should be CCl4. I have missed 1C. It should be CCl4. Carbon tetrachloride. It should be carbon tetrachloride. Please alter. While typing, there is a mistake. Kindly excuse me. It is CCl4. Okay. It is CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. Therefore, your 1 is silver nitrate and potassium iodide. 2 is your silver nitrate and iodoform. 3 is corresponding your silver and iodoform. And then your silver nitrate and carbon tetrachloride. The fourth option will be your silver nitrate and carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. Okay. Right. Now let us analyze the options for question number 6. Children, in question number 6, we need the formation of your AGI. We need the formation of AGI. Okay. Now, in the case of your first option, or first set, your AgNO3 plus Ki. AgNO3 plus Ki, definitely in solution system, they will have ionic reaction. Ag plus and K, Ag plus and I minus will form AgI, and K plus and NO3 will form KNO3. That will be in aqueous solution. And this is a precipitate. This is a silver iodide is a precipitate. And therefore, your 1 forms your corresponding AgI. What about 2? AgNO3 and CHI3. AgNO3 and CHI3. Children, now here the bond is ionic. Here the bond is ionic, and Ag plus and NO3 minus will be formed. Here the bond is covalent. And definitely the Ci bond cannot be broken down by Ag plus. And definitely this reaction will not occur. Here the bond is covalent, and your C and I minus cannot get broken down easily. Here the bond is ionic. Whereas in the previous case, both are ionic. This also ionic and this also ionic. They will dissolve to form ions. The corresponding oppositely charged ions to form what? They combine to form your silver iodide and potassium nitrate. What about 3? Option 3. Option 3, Ag plus CHI3. Children, I am not able to predict. Ag and CHI3. I just keep it as such. Now, let us try to understand the fourth option. The fourth option will be your two does not form your silver iodide. Okay. Fourth option is silver nitrate and carbon tetrachloride. Silver nitrate and carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. Again, this is your covalent, children. This covalent, and this is what? Ionic. And therefore, obviously, your 4 also will not form what? Your AgI. 4 also will not form AgI. What about your 3? Children, in 3, this is silver metal and not silver ion. And therefore, what will happen here is reaction between silver and iodine will take place. It will have the formation of CH, your I, again I, plus your silver, plus again CH, your I, again I. Metals are so strong to pull the corresponding halogen. And your C3 plus 3, 6 Ag will react to form 6 AgI, and you have CH triple bond CH. Your CH triple bond CH, that is your ethine is getting formed. Ethine will form. We are not worried about that, children. We have got the formation of AgI. That is very important. Therefore, your 3 will also form AgI. 3 also forms AgI. And hence, which of the following reactions can form AgI? It is 1,3. And the correct option for the question number 6 will be option B. Question number 7. The number of products obtained include optical isomers formed in the following reactions are: number one, your tertiary butyl bromide and alcoholic KOH. Tertiary butyl bromide, CS3, Br, and alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH is a dehydrohalogenating agent. It is a dehydrohalogenating agent, and therefore, one of the hydrogen from here or from there or anywhere, one of the hydrogen will be removed. That is from your corresponding beta carbon. We call as beta elimination. This is called as beta elimination. Children, now you will get the formation of CH3, single bond C, double bond CH2, single bond CH3. Whether you remove hydrogen from here or from here, you are going to end up with the same product, because when you remove hydrogen from here, double bond CH2 will be there. Here will be CH3. When I remove hydrogen from here, double bond CH2 will be there. Other 2 will be CH3. And all the 3 compounds will be same. And that is your isobutylene. Or isobutene. And your only one product is obtained. For your one product is obtained. Okay. What about your next one? Ethylene reacted with bromine. 2 into ethylene, that is CH2, reacts with bromine. Children, your double gets halogenated, alkene gets halogenated with your halogens, and on both sides, you will have the formation of what? Corresponding bromine. That is your ethylene dibromide. 1,2 dibromoethane or ethylene dibromide. We have already discussed, children. That is again one product. In 2, again, the number of products is obtained. Now, you cannot have isomer here. You cannot have a corresponding optical isomer here because both are not optically active carbon atom. Both are not optically active. Here also optical activity will not come into picture. Here again, even any other geometrical isomerism also will not come into picture because 2 groups are same. CH2, 2 groups are same hydrogen, and there again CH3, 2 groups are same. Therefore, only one product. Here also only one product. Now, what about the third set? The third set is ethene plus chlorine in the presence of alcoholic ROH. Okay. In the presence of alcohol. That is not alcohol ROH. It is alcohol. Alcohol within bracket ROH. Okay. Ethene and Cl2 in the presence of an alcohol. That is ROH. So ethene, double bond CH2, double bond CH2. We have given Cl2 in the presence of alcohol. Now what will happen? Now CH2 double bond CH2 double bond CH2 will first react with what? Your chlorine, Cl. Now what will happen here is the double bond, pi bond gets broken down and the electrons will be supplied to chlorine. And when electrons are supplied to chlorine, this electron will go to what? The chlorine, one or other chlorine. And therefore here the carbon which donates its electron becomes positive charge. Therefore this becomes a carbocation and that becomes CH2Cl plus Cl minus. And then the Cl minus will the same mechanism here. Your Br, electrons will be transferred to Br and then it will form your CH2 plus, then Br minus will attack here to form the what? This product. Now here, from here, I am going to have 2 different types of steps. One is the attack of your carbocation by Cl minus, or the attack of carbocation by alcohol, or the attack of any nucleophile can attack. The positive charge center can be attacked by nucleophile. Positively charged center can be attacked by nucleophile. And therefore, your Cl minus can attack your Cl minus a nucleophile, it can attack C plus, and RO, that it has got a lone pair, it's also a nucleophile. And therefore, when the Cl minus attacks here, it forms CH2, Cl, and that is 1,2 dichloroethane. When O attacks the carbon, it forms CH2, Cl. One lone pair will be given to C plus center, and therefore your O takes a positive charge, again R and H. Now finally what will happen? Again the good old mechanism, your oxygen is more electronegative and therefore O plus is also more electronegative. It will pull the electron from OH bond and then hydrogen is removed as what? The hydrogen will be removed as H plus, minus H plus. You are going to have your CH2, Cl, and O, your corresponding R. Suppose if I am going to have your R as methoxy, halogen and methoxy, which should be given, they are equal preference. They have got equal preference and therefore go with the corresponding your alphabetical order. 1, 2. Therefore, the product will be 1-chloro, 2-methoxy. Suppose if it is methoxy, generally alkoxy, your 1-chloro, 2-alkoxy, your ethane, 1-chloro, 2-alkoxy ethane, because your methoxy, ethoxy, propoxy, everything will come after your chlorine. And therefore, 1-chloro, 2-alkoxy. This is again another product. Therefore, one product is here. The second product is here. Definitely, this will not have any. We have not defined the R. Don't worry about that. This will not have. Assume that does not have any optical activity. Okay. And therefore, now you have got again two products. When I say 3, option 3 has got the pair of substance in 3 has got 2 products. Okay. Now what about 4? Isopropyl halide with aqueous KOH. Isopropyl halide is CH3, CHCl, CH3 with aqueous KOH. When I say aqueous KOH, your Cl will be replaced by OH, children. Therefore, we are going to have your corresponding OH and CH3. That's isopropyl alcohol, only one product. Therefore, again, only one product. What about the next one? I think 5 we have given. Secondary butyl bromide with moist Ag2O. Secondary butyl bromide, CH3, CH, CH2, CH3, your Br with your moist Ag2O. Moist silver oxide. It will form silver hydroxide. It will form silver hydroxide. It is as equivalent as what? Your aqueous KOH or aqueous NaOH. It will convert your bromine to what? Your corresponding alcohol. Therefore, we will have CH3CHOH and your CH2CH3. Now this carbon is asymmetric. This carbon is asymmetric. It is optically active. It is optically active. Therefore, it will have D isomer. It will also have L isomer. Therefore, the number of products is what? 2 here. And we have to include isomerism. I have given specifically. And therefore, 2. And hence, your 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2 will be the answer. Be the correct answer, and hence the correct option for the question number 7 will be option D. Option 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Option D. Option D will be the correct option for the question number 7. Question number 8. Dash is highly viscous among the following alcohols. Ethyl alcohol. Generally, alcohols, it will have hydrogen bonding, and definitely it's highly volatile. A boiling point will increase with respect to what? Hydrocarbon. And they have given alcohol, glycerol, phenol, both B and C have the same viscosity but higher than A. Definitely your glycerol viscosity is much higher than phenol and ethanol, phenol and ethyl alcohol, because it has got 3 OH. 3 OH. Therefore, the highly viscous, eta is viscosity, is your glycerol. Highly viscous is glycerol because of your 3 OH group. Because of 3 OH group. 3 OH group. Okay. And therefore, the option number 8. The correct option for the question number 8 is option B. Option B will be the correct option for the question number 8. Question number 9. Question number 9. Children, I need more space for question number 9. I'll try to clear the board and then do the problem, children. Now, what about question number 9? In question number 9, 2 of the oxidation products of glycol, your individually contains, 2 of the oxidation products of glycol individually contains equal number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in them. 2 of the oxidation products of glycol individually contains equal number of your carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. That is, when I say equal number, the CHO ratio is 1:1:1. The CHO ratio is 1:1:1 in terms of number of atoms, not in terms of mass. Not in terms of mass. Please understand, not in terms of mass. Okay. And that is in terms of number of atoms. That is in terms of number of atoms. And therefore, 2 of the oxidation products of glycol individually contains equal number of your carbon, hydrogen, oxygen in them. The products are glycolic aldehyde, glycolic acid, glyoxal, oxalic acid, glyoxalic acid. If you know the formula for all these things, then there is no need to understand, children. Directly you can take the answer. Now, for want of your clarity, I am going to give you the corresponding oxidation products of your glycol. Glycol is your 1, 2 ethane diol, and primary alcohol upon oxidation will give you aldehyde. Primary alcohol upon oxidation will give you aldehyde. This is called your glycol, and this is glycolic aldehyde. Glycolic aldehyde upon oxidation, it can give you 2 products. Either your aldehyde can become acid, or your primary alcohol, one more primary alcohol can become again aldehyde. Therefore, you will have a mixture of product. Don't worry about that. Now, this is your glycolic acid. That is called glycolic acid, and this is called glyoxal. When I further oxidize glyoxal, one of the aldehyde will become corresponding acid. Therefore, COOH single bond CHO. And when I oxidize glycolic acid, again primary alcohol can become aldehyde. And therefore, again the same product will be obtained. And this is called your corresponding glyoxalic acid. Glyoxalic acid. Now, glyoxalic acid upon further oxidation will give you oxalic acid. When this oxidize further, you will have an evolution of 2 carbon dioxide plus 1 water. Therefore, ultimately any organic substance upon final oxidation will give you carbon dioxide and water. Okay. Now let us understand your formula for your glyoxal. You can see here, glyoxal contains C2H2O2. Therefore, it is in the ratio 1:1:1. Okay. What about your oxalic acid? Oxalic acid contains C2 H4, sorry, C2, H2O4. C2H2O4. It is 1:1:2. 1:1:2. 1:1:2. Okay. And therefore we have got only one equal number. Equal number of your, they have given equal number of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen in them. The products obtained are glycolic aldehyde. Glycolic aldehyde will not have equal number of carbon. 2 carbon is there. Here 2 carbon, 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. Only one product is there. Okay. Now, 2 of the oxidation products. The products of glycolic aldehyde, glycolic acid, glyoxal, oxalic acid, and your glyoxylic acid. Children, it is not 2 of the oxidation product. Please make a note. 1 of the oxidation product. It is only 1 of the oxidation product. Only 1 of the oxidation product. Here you can see 1:1:2. Here you can see 1:1:2. 2, H2 and O4. Therefore, only one product. Please make a note. Alter the question. 1 of the oxidation product. 1 of the oxidation product has got equal number of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and hence there is no option here given here. The correct answer is what? Glyoxal. The correct answer is glyoxal. Please make a note. Only one product is there, children. Please alter the question number 9. Please alter the question number 9. Question number 10. Question number 10. In which of the following reaction or reactions a new CC bond or CO single bond? Question number 9. Please alter. I will not give mark for anybody for that question, or I will give mark for everybody. I will give mark for everybody who has sent the answers. Okay. For question number 9, I will give mark for everybody. And for your 6, of course, 6 is understandable. Even if Cl4 cannot there, even if it is Cl2, even if it is Cl2 chlorine, definitely it will not react with what? Corresponding your AgNO3. And therefore, you can be rest assured about what? You are forming your AgI, because your AgI is not there. Oh. Sorry, children. In question number 6, it is CI4. Tetraiodo compound. Tetraiodo compound. I have said tetrachloro. Carbon tetrachloro, I said. It is not CCl4. Please, it is Cl4. The options are correct. In question number 6, options are correct. In question number 6, options are correct. It is CI4. Again, it's covalent bond. CI4 is covalent bond. It will not form what? Corresponding. How can CCl4 can form AgI? Again, ruled out. Question number 6 is correct only. Okay. Maybe my eyesight is very poor, and the page is all the printer is also very light printout. I am not able to see the maybe the eye print is not there clearly in my printout. Please bear with me. Question number 6, that is correct. Okay. Question number 9, I will give mark for everybody. And question number 10. In which of the following reaction or reactions a new carbon-carbon or carbon-oxygen single bond, sigma bond formation takes place? Your Woods reaction. Woods reaction, definitely your methyl chloride plus sodium, again chloromethane or methyl chloride, it will form CH3 single bond, CH3, new CC bond is formed. Therefore, carbon-carbon bond is formed. Okay. What about the next one? Your continuous esterification process. Continuous esterification process is methyl alcohol plus your again methyl alcohol in sulfuric acid medium at about 430 Kelvin, 13 Kelvin, low temperature. Okay. It will form CH3O, CH3. A new CO bond is formed. A new CO bond is formed. Okay. And that's again true. You about third one. Third one is intramolecular dehydration of alcohol. Intramolecular dehydration of alcohol will lead to what? CH2OH, your ethyl alcohol, H, CH2OH, HCH2, CH2OH. Again, upon dehydration in acid medium, it removes water. It forms CH2 double bond CH2, but it forms a new carbon-carbon pi bond. It is ruled out. We have asked sigma bond. And what about the next one? The next one is your Woods-Fittig reaction. Woods-Fittig reaction is your one is aromatic, the other one is your corresponding aliphatic, and it will form a corresponding your aralkane. That is your C6H5CH3. Again, carbon-carbon sigma bond is formed. Therefore, your CC bond is formed. It's true. What about next one? Fittig reaction. Fittig reaction is both are aryl. Both are aryl. Chlorobenzene. Again treated with again chlorobenzene. Again in sodium. Maybe the solvent, your system solvent, the temperature can be slightly. Your both are aromatic. You will get the compound called diphenyl. C6H5 C6H5 diphenyl. Again, carbon-carbon sigma bond is established. That is again true. What about the next one? Oxidation of tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol, CH3C, CH3OH, CH2H. Children, oxidation of tertiary butyl alcohol is very difficult. Tertiary butyl alcohol will not get oxidized. Rather, it will get dehydrated. First dehydrated, and then only it will get oxidized. When it gets dehydrated, it forms isobutene. Isobutene or isobutylene. This upon further oxidation can form double bond gets broken down. O will get added on both sides. It will form acetone and then your corresponding formaldehyde CH2O. This again will get easily oxidized to form what? Your corresponding formic acid HCOOH. Okay. Now there is no a new bond is getting formed here, and therefore this again ruled out. What about your 1, 2, 4, and 5? 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. I have given 6 options. 1, 2, 4, 5. B. Option B is there. And B is there. Children, for such questions to be answered clearly, you need to be very, very clear about all the name reaction and its corresponding mechanism. All the name reactions and its corresponding mechanism. You can see in this text, in this sheet, you can see I have given most of the question of the form multiple statement, multiple answer correct. I have given of that form. Please try to remember such model type of question. Definitely out of 45 question, maybe we can expect around 10 question of this type we can expect. Not definitely more than that. Okay. And that's about, but in biology you may get more. But in biology, definitely you may get more of this type. Please be careful. So question number 10, we have completed. Question number 11. Isopropyl alcohol answers iodoform test with iodine in the presence of dash. Isopropyl alcohol, your answers iodoform test. Iodoform test. Yes, it will answer iodoform test because it has got your corresponding, your methyl carbonyl group. In the presence of dash, we get your sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is an alkali. Definitely it will give OH minus, it will react. And the next one is potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide again, it will give OH minus. That will again you will react. Your iodine in the presence of NaOH, iodine in the presence of KOH, reaction will take place. What about the next one? The next one is your corresponding your calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide again can supply OH minus. Because calcium hydroxide upon dissolution will give you calcium ion and your OH minus ion. That again will supply OH minus. What about D? D is calcium chloride. Calcium chloride will dissociate to form corresponding calcium ion and your 2Cl minus ion. Corresponding calcium ion and 2Cl minus ion. Now, please don't argue that calcium ion will react with water to form calcium hydroxide. No. Even if it forms such calcium hydroxide, that will be very, very small amount, that you have always studied in your ionic equilibrium. But, and that is mainly for weak cation. Your calcium ion is not weak cation. Ammonium ion in water, definitely it will form corresponding ammonium hydroxide and then H plus. The reaction is an equilibrium reaction. This we call as salt hydrolysis. Salt hydrolysis in your ionic equilibrium. But such hydrolysis cannot take place for calcium because calcium is much stronger. And even if it forms a very, 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 very small quantity. Just neglect it. And therefore, your Ca2 plus, your calcium chloride cannot supply your OH minus. Calcium chloride cannot supply OH minus, children. And hence your option D. Option 4. Maybe this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, and that is 4. And the 5 is, we have given dry calcium chloride. Dry calcium oxychloride. Dry calcium oxychloride will not give OH minus. Dry calcium oxychloride will not give OH minus because iodine in the presence of dry. Calcium, everything is dry. There is no water. Isopropyl alcohol will not contain water. Iodine will not contain water. Dry calcium oxychloride will not contain water. But again, this will not give, children. Therefore, your correct option for the question number, your 11 will be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then your correct option is option C. Option C will be the correct option. Option C will be the correct option for the question number 11. If you are going to use your bleaching powder with water. If you are going to use bleaching powder with water, definitely this will react. This will react to form calcium hydroxide. This will react to form calcium hydroxide with elimination of chlorine. And now this chlorine can give chloroform reaction. This will be in the presence of what? Your calcium hydroxide or iodine already we have supplied. Therefore, both iodoform reaction and calcium hydroxide chloroform reaction can take place in the presence of calcium hydroxide. Iodoform reaction can take place. Chloroform reaction also can take place. Got moist Cl2. It is moist CaCl2, CaOCl2. It is nothing but CaCl, OCl. That is the actual representation of your bleaching powder. Therefore, in the presence of bleaching powder, dry bleaching powder, definitely no, it will not liberate CaOH twice. Whereas your moist CaOCl2, it can liberate your corresponding OH minus. And therefore, the correct option for the question number 11 will be option C, which we have already delivered. Okay. What about question number 12? Children, we need more space for this reaction to for completing the reaction. Therefore, I'll clear the board. Children, please bear with me for a while. I hope you are able to follow. Everybody is able to follow the questions. And kindly excuse me for your question number 6, wherein my eyesight was poor. I wrongly said as what? Instead of CI4, I said CCl4. Also, kindly excuse me for the typing mistake. For the next set of one question, definitely I will try to reduce such mistakes in the long run. Okay, please excuse me. And these are all the questions which we set. We don't take any information from any of the website or any standard. This is not a standard question. Maybe you can just type in these questions in Google. See, you will get the concept. You will get the concept, but you may not get the same type of question. Okay. For you all to do in a better manner, we are putting some effort, and definitely I owe everything to God, and He will be with us so that you all will come out with flying colors. Okay. And that's about the idea of question number 11, children. Now question number 12. In question number 12, reaction between excess P and I2, phosphorus and iodide. In the first case, P plus I2, it is a halogenating agent which will convert OH to I. That is very important one. Okay. Now next one, your unglycerol, P plus I2 and glycerol. What is glycerol, children? Your CH2OH, CHOH, CH2OH. In the presence of P plus I2, definitely all the OH will be replaced by what? I. Therefore, we are going to have CH2I, single bond CHI, single bond CH2I, and that is called 1, 2, 3 triiodopropane, which is unstable. And it will eliminate 2 of the iodine minus I2. Therefore, it will form CH2I, the single bond CH2. It is called allyl iodide. It is called allyl iodide, or it is nothing but one iodo corresponding your you can have the IUPAC name. Already we have discussed children in terms of IUPAC naming. Now you got, it's a double bond, it's a propene, it's a derivative of propane, Now coming on to your corresponding, your next reagent is, what is the reagent given there? It is excess HI with glycerol. Excess HI with glycerol. HI, not only HI, it is the word excess. Always, whenever we give excess, we have to reacting with the complete until the reaction stops finally. That is very important. And your CH2OH with HI. When they reagent which will convert OH to what? OH to I. And not only that, it will convert I with the removal of water here. And again, your alkyl iodide will react with HI. HI is a reducing agent, minus I2, it will form alkane. And now here, again you will have CH2I, CHI, CH2I. It is again unstable. It will have minus I2. It will form CH2I, single bond CH double bond CH2 allyl iodide. Again, it will form with one more HI. It will undergo Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule. We will get negative part will attack the carbon atom having least number of hydrogen atom. Therefore, CHI, CH3. It is 1,2 diiodopropane. That's again unstable. Minus I2. When I say minus I2, it will form CH2, double bond CH, single bond CH3. Now, which is again react with one more HI. Again, Markovnikov's rule. Again, Markovnikov's rule. You will get CH3, single bond CHI, single bond CH3. It's called isopropyl iodide or 2-iodopropane. Isopropyl iodide or 2-iodopropane. Again with HI. Again with HI. You will get reduced minus I2 and H will attack there. It will form propane. It will form propane. Children, in most of the standard textbook, they will stop with this. In most of the standard textbook, they will stop with this. And the final reaction also will take place. Please make a note. If at all in option, they have not given propane, then this will be the answer. If in the option, propane is given, then that should be the answer. Then that should be the answer. Or you can have a mixture of these two. Okay? And that is what maybe some of the authors would have mentioned. Now, what about your options for the question number 12? Allyl iodide is correct for the first fill-up. And the second fill-up is what? Your propane. Propane is correct. Allyl iodide, propane. Allyl iodide in both the cases. That is wrong. Propane in both the cases wrong. Allyl iodide and isopropyl iodide. Children, in certain authors, they will stop with this. Suppose if propane is not given, then the answer will be allyl iodide and your corresponding isopropyl iodide. Since propane is given, I prefer the option allyl iodide and propane. Therefore, option A will be the correct according to me. According to me, option A will be the correct option, provided I have given both your isopropyl iodide and your propane. Okay. Now, suppose if propane is not given in one of the option, in the first option, definitely you can prefer the other option as what? Your D. And that's about the idea of question number 13, children. Question number 12, children. Question number 13. Which of the following organic compounds can give a tertiary alcohol when treated with excess RMGI? Subsequently, the intermediate is hydrolyzed in acid medium. Okay. Oh, Grignard reagent with ketone, Grignard reagent with acid chloride, Grignard reagent with ester, Grignard reagent with ether, iodide substitute ether, Grignard reagent with chloroformate. Children, for this, again, I need more space because we have got so many reacting substances. And hence, I clear the board, children. Please excuse me. Because it's one stroke to complete all the reagents. When all the reactants react with nitrogen in one stroke, if I complete, then it will be easy. It will be good for you to understand. So only I'm just clearing the board because we need more space. Not 2 or 3 products are being given there. The reactants, I think I have given 4 or 5 reactants. Okay, so therefore, to complete the entire set of reaction, I need the complete board. Question number 13. Grignard reagent, which of the following organic compound can give tertiary alcohol? We want a tertiary alcohol. When treated with excess RMGI, go on treating with RMGI, and then subsequently the intermediate is hydrolyzed in acid medium. So we have what? XSRMGI. Okay. And then the subsequently is treated with what? Your acid medium. Okay. Now, your first one is your A, that is, I have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right. The first one will be your RMGI plus ketone, R1C double bond O, R2. Obviously, your R will take a minus charge, plus charge, carbon will take a minus charge, plus charge, and minus will attack the plus, and plus will attack the minus. We have already dealt all these things. Now, R1, C, R, R2, O, MGI, and here minus plus, again upon hydrolysis and acid medium, your H will be attacking here, and OH will be attacking here. I get the product as this MGH, I get the product as your R1, C, R, R2, OH plus your corresponding MgOHI. And again, here tertiary alcohol comes into picture. What about the next one? Your 2. 2 is acid chloride. RCOCl plus RMGX or RMGI. Okay. What will happen? It again minus plus, your R will attack your here and your Mg will attack O. Therefore, I am going to have R1C, your R, R1CR, your O, MgI, again your Cl, and again hydrolysis. This is your minus. Your OMGI will take a minus charge at O and plus will at your corresponding your MgI. And again hydrolysis in acid medium with H plus. Again hydrolyze. Now what will happen? Children, both CCl bond and OMG bond will get hydrolyzed. CCl bond upon hydrolysis will have H here and then OH in the carbon. CCl bond upon hydrolysis, H will go with HCl and then OH will attack the carbon. And in the case of your OMG, H here, OH here. Therefore, I am going to have your R1C, R, OH, again OH, plus your HCl, plus magnesium hydroxy iodide. I am not worried about the byproduct, children. I am worried about the main product. It's a gem diol. Again, water gets eliminated. When water gets eliminated, it's unstable because it's gem diol. When water gets eliminated, I am going to form a ketone, RC1O, RC1O. Again, ketone will react with excess Grignard reagent. When ketone reacts with Grignard reagent, again tertiary alcohol is formed. Tertiary alcohol is formed. Therefore, option 2 is also. Now you cannot stop here. You cannot stop here because we have given excess. We have given excess your Grignard reagent. When I say excess Grignard reagent, again further reaction will take place. Tertiary alcohol will get formed. Okay, and that's about your 2. What about 3? 3 is nothing but ester. 3 is ester. Your RMGI plus R1C double bond O R2 ester. Okay. Now again R will attack carbon and MgI will attack oxygen. I'll get R1C R OR2 again O MgI. Again upon hydrolysis in acid medium. Again this CO bond gets broken down. Here H and OH will be in carbon. OMG bond gets broken down. H and OH here. You are going to have your again OH plus your R2OH plus your corresponding magnesium hydroxy iodide. R2OH is here. Okay. Again your gem diol. You can see here. Gem diol. On your removal of water, it eliminates water to form a ketone. Again ketone with Grignard reagent in acid medium hydrolysis will give you tertiary alcohol. Therefore, this is also true. Your 3 is also true. And what about your next one? ROCH2I. Your ROCH2I. Your Grignard reagent RMGX or R-MGX ROCH2I. What will happen? Your MGX and then I will be removed as minus magnesium hydroxy halide, and we will have the formation of ROCH2R-. This is called higher ether. Therefore, it does not form tertiary alcohol. What about the next one? Your ethyl chloroformate. What is ethyl chloroformate, children? Again, Grignard reagent. When I say ethyl chloroformate, it is ClCO, OC2H5. ClCO, OC2H5. That is called, when I say chloroformate, your ethyl formate is this. Ethyl formate. Formic acid plus ethyl alcohol gives ethyl formate. When I replace hydrogen base, it's called ethyl chloroformate. Again, your R attack here and Mg will attack here. CRO, C2H5, O, MgX. Children, now, again hydrolysis in acid medium, you will have the breakage of all the 3 bonds. Your OMG bond, H and OH here. Alcohol oxy bond, again ethoxy bond, H and OH here. Again H and OH here. OH will attack the carbon. And 3 OH will be there. R, your corresponding C, OH. What are the byproducts? HCl plus C2H5OH plus magnesium hydroxy iodide. Okay. Halide. Whatever the halogen we have used, that will come here. Now gemtriol is unstable. It eliminates water, children. When it eliminates water, then it forms your corresponding RCOOH. It forms RCOOH. That's again, that cannot give you your corresponding, even if we treat this with Grignard reagent. Now what about your acids upon treatment with Grignard reagent? Your RC double bond OH plus again Grignard reagent, RMGX. Okay. Now again your RCR, OMGX, and then OH. OMGX and OH. Now what will happen here, children? But again, it will have your corresponding, your in acid medium, it will hydrolyze, it will form a gemdiol. That is here, H and OH will come. H and OH will come. Therefore, it will form your RCR. It will form gemdiol. It will form a ketone. This will form a ketone again. This will form a ketone. And again, ketone will give you what? Again, ketone will give you the corresponding. Your tertiary alcohol. Ketone with Grignard reagent will give you a corresponding tertiary alcohol, children. Therefore, when you go further reactions, definitely tertiary alcohol gets formed here also. And hence the correct option for the question number, you are 13. 1, 2, 3, 4 is not 1, 2, 3. For the question number 13, 1, 2, 3, 5. You are 1, 2, 3, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 is in the first option. 1, 2, 3, 5 is the first option. Therefore, option A will be the correct option. Option A will be the correct option for the question number, you are 13. Option A will be the correct option for the question number 13. You see, children? You see, it involves so much of all the concepts of Grignard reagent I have covered in this one single question. Okay, right. That's about the idea of question number 13, children. Now, let us pass on to question number 14. In question number 14, to prepare 2,5 dimethylhexane. What about the corresponding? To prepare 2,5 dimethylhexane, 6 carbon containing your hydrocarbon, and 2,5 will be the corresponding branch position wherein methyl group is there. So 2,5 dimethylhexane by Woods reaction. We have to prepare 2,5 dimethylhexane by Woods reaction. Then what are the best suitable alkyl halides is R. The best suitable alkyl halides is R dash. Children, now please understand the structure of the corresponding compounds. That is very important. And all the keywords present in the question. The structure of the compound. In 14, to prepare 2,5 dimethylhexane, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2,5. Therefore, the structure will be CH3, CH3, CH2, CH3. It is a 6 carbon number. Therefore, it is an even number. And it is also symmetric. You can see here. Now, by Woods reaction, we need to prepare. For Woods reaction, you need 2 alkyl halides. 2 alkyl halides in the presence of sodium. Okay. The best suitable alkyl halide. The word best, it is very, very important. The word best suitable alkyl halide is very, very important. The word best. Children, Woods reaction is fundamentally for your symmetric alkanes. Fundamentally for symmetric alkanes. If you use unsymmetric alkanes, you will have mixture of products. If you use unsymmetric alkanes, you will have mixture of products. When you have mixture of products, then it is very difficult to separate. Therefore, Woods reaction is basically for producing symmetric alkanes. Now it is a symmetric alkane. You can just break here. Add one halogen here. And that is a CH3CH2X. And that is your isobutyl halide. You can see in the other side also CH3CH2X, isobutyl halide. Therefore, isobutyl halide with isobutyl halide in the presence of sodium will give you the corresponding 2,5 dimethylhexane. And hence, the best suitable reagent is what? Only isobutyl halide, not the other combinations. Your 1-chloro 3-methylbutane, definitely it cannot give the corresponding because it is butane. When I say butane plus butane will give you 8 carbon. Isopropyl chloride gas 3 carbon. and 3 plus 3, it can give you 6 carbon. That 2 branch will be there, and then definitely 6 carbon will not be there in the linear chain. Isobutyl chloride, I have given the option as correct. And what about the next one? Chloromethane, definitely it is not. And they have given combination. Answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5. Definitely, other option also can give your corresponding 2, 5 dimethylhexane, but the word best eliminates that option. When I say best, symmetric alkanes should be preferred. For symmetric alkanes, symmetrically break the compound into 2 alkyl halides. And therefore, the best is what? Your isobutyl halide. I need not go with the products obtained by the other combination. Therefore, the correct option for what? Question number 14 will be option A. Option A will be the correct option. Option A will be the correct option for the question number 14. That is 3, isobutyl chloride. What about the next one? Question number 15. When chlorobenzene is reacted with chloromethane, when chlorobenzene is this. Chlorobenzene is reacted with chloromethane. In the presence of metallic sodium. Woods-Fittig reaction, you will get C6H5CH3. That is your toluene. Okay, toluene. Okay. By A is obtained. Okay, right. Toluene is obtained. A is toluene. When treated with in the presence of sunlight. So I am going to treat in the presence of sunlight. With 1 mole of Cl2, 2 mole of Cl2, and then 3 mole of Cl2. Three condition. 1 mole of Cl2, 2 mole of Cl2, 3 moles of Cl2. And A is nothing but your corresponding C6H5CH3. Okay. And now with 1 mole of one carbon hydrogen bond with 1 hydrogen will be replaced by chlorine. We will get C6H5CH2OH. Sorry, CH2Cl. And similarly here, C6H5, your CHCl2. Maybe I can expand here. CHCl2. Okay. This is a benzyl chloride. This is called benzyl chloride. Now, what about the next one? Your C6H5, CClCl, trichlorophenols. Now, this is a product obtained. And then the corresponding products are treated with excess NaOH. NaOH is a reagent which will convert your corresponding, excess NaOH. NaOH is a reagent which will convert Cl2OH. And therefore, I am going to have benzyl alcohol. I am going to have your corresponding, your diol, gem diol. Gem diols are unstable. They will eliminate water. To give benzaldehyde. About the next, NaOH is nothing but again 3 gem triol will be there. Gem triols are also unstable. When gem triols are unstable, then obviously you get your C6H5, your C, again water gets removed, minus water, you will have the elimination of water, C double bond O here and OH here. And again your OH will react, benzoic acid will react with NaOH to form sodium benzoate salt. Na+. Okay. Now therefore, benzyl alcohol will be one of the product, and that is one is there. And then your corresponding benzaldehyde is one of the product. Again, your 2 is there. 1, 2. And then your corresponding sodium benzoate is another 2, 6. Children, now they have given excess aqueous NaOH. When I say aqueous NaOH, we have not delivered whether it is concentrated or your corresponding dilute. Okay, don't worry about that. Aqueous NaOH is there. Now, the word concentration is not there, but the options are not being given there. If the option is benzyl alcohol, benzaldehyde, and sodium benzoate, then your corresponding benzaldehyde is 1. Okay, right. And then benzoic acid is not there. 3. 136 should be the answer. 136 should be the answer. But 136 is not being given there. Then if 136 is given, please go with that. If 136 is given, please go with that. Okay. If 136 is not given, then we have to analyze that benzaldehyde, again, it can react with NaOH to form its corresponding product. Benzaldehyde can undergo Cannizzaro reaction. 2 moles of benzaldehyde in the presence of sodium hydroxide, it will give you Cannizzaro reaction. it will form sodium benzoate. It will form sodium benzoate and benzyl alcohol. One molecule gets oxidized, one molecule gets reduced. One molecule gets oxidized to form sodium benzoic acid. Benzoic acid again with NaOH will give you sodium benzoate, again benzyl alcohol. Therefore, your benzyl alcohol and sodium benzoate, benzyl alcohol and sodium benzoate, benzaldehyde again will react to give what? Benzaldehyde will again benzyl alcohol and sodium benzoate, and hence the correct option here. The options are not correct. Options are not given there. That is 136 is not given there, and therefore the correct option we can choose probably, definitely, O-chlorophenol and 5-parachlorophenol is ruled out, and therefore 4 is not given there in any of the option. 5 is ruled out. 315 is ruled out, and 312 benzoic acid will not come into picture because benzoic acid when is there in alkaline medium it will become sodium benzoate, and therefore your sodium benzoate and benzaldehyde will be the suitable answer. Sodium benzoate and benzyl alcohol will be the suitable answer. When I say benzyl alcohol, it's 3 and sodium benzoate is 6, and therefore 3,6. I hope the correct option will be option D given there. Option D will be the correct option is being given there. That's about the idea of question number 15, children. Now, let us vibrate the words. I'll clear NEET with a good score above 650. 3 times. Thank you, children. That's all for the day. Bye-bye. Enjoy your school class. Bye-bye.